What is up, YouTube? Hope you guys are all doing well. Espero que todos mis amigos son bien, están bien. I'm here recording a quick little video because I thought of a topic that I think I could simplify and present to you guys and maybe help some of you guys out with. And that is how to easily manage your meals on vacation so that you don't overeat. Simply put, this is something I kind of developed over my own experiences through my own experiences throughout Europe this summer. I've had the immense pleasure and I guess, what's the word? Shit. Privilege, thanks to my university, being able to travel around. And so through those experiences, I've kind of found myself, eating a lot of different food at a lot of different times that I'm used to, not really in a regimented sort of way. And one thing that's, kind of gone into my head is, okay, let's say you're not a bodybuilder, you're just a normal guy. How the hell should you go about planning out your meals, right? Normal guy or girl, I should say, right? All inclusive here. So something I kind of developed is pretty simple. It's definitely not an invention of my own, but quite simply put, it is eat once per eating window. What does that mean? It means that, let's say I'm someone who wants to eat 3 or 4 times a day. Let's say 3, because generally on vacation you're going to be eating bigger meals maybe, and that might not include like a little snack here, a little snack there, right? So let's say 3 times per day. When you sit down and have, let's say, breakfast, wait a bit afterwards. Wait a bit after breakfast before you even think about eating anything else. And often what happens on vacation is because of the abundance, the easy accessibility of, all these sweets, all these different foods close by, things you haven't tried, you'll finish one meal and then all of a sudden you're already thinking about the next, right? And that's dangerous because then, what should have been breakfast is really just a 3-course smorgasbord of, shop hopping, right? And that's obviously going to throw off your macros, your caloric bank for the day, right? And so instead, eat breakfast, wait at least an hour or two, maybe grab a small croissant or something tiny, if you even want that, but really try and stick to that breakfast, lunch, dinner sort of plan. And what happens is, especially if you're eating in a restaurant, which I highly recommend, guys, for multiple reasons. One, you're actually going to get high quality food that's cooked with love generally. You don't look for those local small places, but the difference between eating in a restaurant and like just store hopping or convenience store hopping is massive. And I promise you it will greatly elevate your experiences eating abroad. At least has for me. Whenever I go to a new place and I really prioritize eating like normal big meals at restaurants, I'm just so much more fulfilled at the end of the day. And usually it's actually cheaper than store hopping, because when you store hop and you buy smaller things, you tend to buy a lot, right? Like, I'll have one croissant here, I'll have one donut there, I'll have one gelato here. Next thing you know, you spend $15. You could just have yourself a 3-course meal. I just had a 3-course meal, menu del dia, menu of the day for lunch, la comida, in one of these restaurants here locally. It was amazing, all home cooked, delicious food. Maybe it was a 1,200 calorie, 1,500 calorie meal, but man, I'm full, and I'm probably not going to eat until dinner. And so, compare that to store hopping, you're going to get a better experience, and also you're going to end up eating at regular intervals, right? Most stores are only open like, especially in Europe, from lunch till like 3, and then from like maybe 5 till dinner or whatever, something like that, right? Generally have some amount of time off, and that kind of forces you to eat regularly, right? Number 2 is eat like the locals. I've said this before, but if you're in a country where people don't eat a big breakfast, maybe do that. Because then when you eat lunch, you're probably going to have more food. Generally, they're going to serve more food, like the menu of the day, menu of the day, menu del dia. I just ate, I can't even talk. It was great, but it was a 3-course meal. If you're having that 3 times a day, you're probably, unless you're walking 30, 40,000 steps, which is possible. I've hit 50K. I've hit 50K in a day before abroad. That's awesome because you get to eat a lot, but most of the time, for most people, it's going to be too much, right? So the locals are only having a coffee and a croissant for breakfast, if even. It's probably a sign to do the same, because then you can really enjoy the local cuisine in the full size and manner that the locals do, come the time to do so. So I guess 2-part video. 1, eat regularly, and 2, follow the local eating habits for those regular periods. A lot of times as well, when they eat a bigger lunch In some countries, they'll eat a smaller dinner. So think about that. Don't plan like a 5-course dinner if you've already had a 5-course lunch. So little quick video. I've kind of said parts of these here and there, but wanted to kind of distill it down. So TLDR, give yourself a good 6 hours or at least 4 hours between when you eat. Let's say I'm eating breakfast at 9, 4, 5, 6 hours later, 1 or 2 p.m., have a lunch. 4, 5, 6 hours later, 8 or 9, have myself a little bit of a dinner. There you go. You probably had something at, at something like 2 to 3K calories. Perfect for most people if they've been walking a lot, but you should be exploring the city. And yeah, now you're maintaining, getting to eat all the good food, probably had a few desserts here and there, and you're good to go. So, eat normally, eat frequently, don't starve all day, and eat one time at the end of the day, then you might, really crash out. But hey, if you miss a meal here and there, just eat like the locals do and stay on track. Don't have to plan everything out, be so regimented. And if you watch my other video about protein intake, you'll know why I haven't mentioned protein once. Because more than likely, if you're eating any sort of meat twice a day at least, you're probably hitting your protein that you need to maintain your gain muscle. If you were cutting and if you're maintaining, probably don't need to think too much about it. So, especially if you're lifting as well, that's going to be another, counterbalancing force. You're going to be optimizing gains, probably not, but you're going to be losing muscle, doubt it, right? So keep that in mind. Don't worry too much, and I'll catch you guys on the other side for another freaking video. Peace.